Every day at 5 p.m. during festival, the Rhodes Club, or Union, is host to dynamic performer and comedian Stuart Taylor. His show, Technicoloured, has wowed Grahamstown audiences.
Hello, my name is Stuart Taylor. I have a show. It's funny. My name is Stuart. I'm a comedian from Cape Town and I'm doing a show here in Grahamstown called Technicoloured. It's a blend of stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, a little bit of magic, and it's basically the story of me finding my own voice as a comedian. So it's a very personal story, but very funny. Very funny.
I want to say to her, you and everyone from Telkom is so old. I want to say, you and that woman from 1023, you know the goose on 1023, I just want to take you both and hang you off Table Mountains. Hang you both off Table Mountain and say to you, please hold.
It's so different from any of the other comedy shows you're going to watch. It lives somewhere between cueTV and Hoot. If you can imagine the middle ground between that, it's really where theatre meets stand-up comedy. So yes, there are elements of stand-up, but there are also lots of theatrical elements. Because it's quite an honest, personal story, people buy into that and they kind of see the vulnerability and it makes you slightly more likable. So you already start kind of on the right footing with the audience.
I actually learned to swim on an episode of Going No Slowly. I learned to swim. When that episode aired, a lot of white people, you were like, oh my God, welcome. And they always say the same thing. They go, but I don't understand. Like, you're 29, you're 30, you don't know how to swim, you don't know how to swim. And I always say, yeah, you never allowed us on the beaches.
Some of the subject matter is maybe slightly highbrow. A lot of the time you have the audience go, you know, they laugh at the funny and they kind of miss the subtle. Grahamstown audiences, however, tend to get it, like completely get it, and just go, I get it. You know, they walk out there going, I got it, man, I knew what you were talking about. And so that's always nice.
Stuart told us more about how he got into comedy.
I've been doing comedy for about some odd years now, I can't remember how many. But I started doing magic when I was a lightie, and the only way I could do magic for people my age when I was at varsity was at a little comedy night that they'd organized. So eventually after a couple of gigs I dropped the magic, stuck with the comedy and decided, hey, I'm going to probably make more money doing this than with my zoology degree. So I finished up the degree and decided I'm going to spend a year messing around, seeing if it is viable, and I'm still messing around seeing if it is viable. I think funny is in the eye of the beholder, or in the ear of the beholder. Comedy is such a place-specific thing. Some people, for what you might laugh at, someone else will go, oh God, that's terrible. And so if you can just make 99% of your audience laugh, I think you're doing very well. And I reckon the key to it is being yourself, being honest. I think so often comedians try kind of hard to have this image, hey man, I'm a comedian. To just be yourself, man. Just be yourself. You know what? If people like you, they'll laugh for what you say. If they buy into your personality, they'll like you. It doesn't matter how funny your material is. If people don't like you, they're not going to laugh. So just go out there, be yourself, and if you're a nice person, people will probably come and support you.
Grahamstown. Students. Television. cueTV. We asked Stuart what it takes to be a comedian.
So you want to be a comedian? Well, firstly, you need to get chucked out of class on a regular basis. I think that is you have to have like you see, if you weren't like an abused child, or there wasn't like some dark stuff that happened, then you're going to have to make dark stuff. So that the easiest way is to mess with your lecturers, mess with your school teachers, and then that'll get you chucked out often enough so you can talk about those experiences when you are on stage at a later stage. I know, you know what the easiest way of being a comedian is? Find someone who's doing comedy, find out where those open mic spots are, go and do it. And I don't think there's any one pathway to getting to where you're going. It's kind of preset, man. You'll get there if it's meant to be. So check it out, right? Technicoloured is going to run for the next little while. You are guaranteed to have a jaw if you come out and watch the show. So if you're watching this and the festival is not done and it's not yet 5 o'clock, go and get yourself a ticket and come and watch the show, Technicoloured.
Thank you very much for coming. You've been asking the fantastic Stuart Taylor. Good night.